17A of the third schedule to the Constitution. B, the amendment to Section 138 of the Principal Act to delete two crucial grounds upon which an election may be challenged by candidates unduly limits the rights of candidates in elections to a free and fair electoral review process. And C, the amendments to Section 152, subsection 3 to 5 of the Principal Act may raise constitutional issues over the competence of the National Assembly to legislate over local government elections. Please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
Still sticking with the Senate has lifted its embargo on the confirmation of presidential nomination. This development clears the course for nominees for the positions of Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and members of the Monetary Policy. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Rafi Ibrahim, raised a point of order during Tuesday's sit-in, urging lawmakers to lift their embargo on confirmation of appointments by President Muhammadu Buhari, which, according to him, is negatively affecting the economy, a view which was unanimously approved by the lawmakers.
So I want to appeal to our colleagues. We have three requests regarding Central Bank. The board of the Central Bank, the deputy governors, two deputy governors who are also members of MPC, and MPC members who are majorly in the private sector, in various sectors of the economy that are members. MPC is a creation of the CBN Act, which is autonomous. It's not run by the board of Central Bank, but it's very, very important. Each meeting of every 2 months is important for the economy. As it is today, it's already affecting the foreign direct investment to Nigeria. Some foreign portfolio investment are already leaving. Some that are supposed to come are not coming. So we just want to appeal that we take only the aspects that affect the Monetary Policy Committee, which is the independent members and the two deputy governors that are members of MPC, so that the MPC can continue to sit to direct the affair of the financial sector, which is the heart of Nigeria's economy.
A wise man is a man who has to change his mind if he has to. So I think it is important that we reconsider our stand in respect of an earlier resolution on confirmation and be able to probably make an exception in respect of the issue of MPC. Sometimes a man, first of all, the essence of marriage, or one of the essence of marriage, is to have children. So, and that's why, because of the importance of children in marriage, when a man and his wife is quarreling, they still have children. So, I believe that it is important that we make this exception so that our economy will not collapse and the international community will continue to have confidence in our economy. So I support this motion.
For the 3 years I have stayed here with the privilege of being the deputy Senate leader, there was never a time that this Senate has failed or neglected to act in pursuance of that commitment. So in view of this, I think it's a very straightforward motion. I will only seize this opportunity to thank my distinguished colleagues for giving us that very, very rare cooperation in that line.
In his ruling, the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, directed the Senate Committee Chairman on Banking to complete the process of screening in a bid to give the necessary support on the issue.
Confirmation process for the two deputy governors and the members of the MPC. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, let me thank the Chairman of Banking for bringing that up. Let me also particularly again acknowledge and thank my colleagues for the statesmanship role you continue to play. This has been a chamber that has always been for the issue of the economy, and for us to do all it takes to continue to ensure we see investment, ease of doing business, and give confidence, and that is what we're doing here. In as much as we continue to defend the institutions and the democracy and the constitution that we're all sworn by, it is time that also we look at the priorities and understand what is important. So the Senate Committee Chairman of Banking, please ensure that you complete that process so you can give the necessary support in this issue of MPC and the Deputy Governor so that the Central Bank continue to play its own role in the economy. I thank you.
To all the stories, the House of Representatives has recalled its former chairman, Committee on Appropriation, Abdul Mumini Jibrin, from suspension. You will recall that Jibrin was suspended on September 28, 2016 for 180 legislative days. Jibrin drew the ire of his fellow lawmakers when he read a speech during the plenary on July 20, 2016, alleging fraud in the budget, and afterwards revealed some documents to the media which his colleagues considered damaging. Since the House of Reps sits twice in a week, Jibrin's suspension lasted over 17 months. At the time of his suspension, and based on the motion recommended by the House Ethics Committee Chairman Nicholas Osai and adopted by the entire lawmakers, Jibrin was also barred from assuming a position of authority in the current National Assembly. Now, some members of the Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party have not rested on their oars in calling for the removal of the sitting chairman. These PDP chairman members once again reiterated their call at the last senatorial district in the state.
The Lagos State People's Democratic Party members aggrieved with the sitting chairman, Honorable Moshood Salvador. They have taken their campaign to the last senatorial district in the state. Here, they reiterated their demand, which is basically for the sitting chairman to vacate office.
Moshood Salvador has been told in many ways to leave the office as the chairman. He is no more worthy to be called the chairman of PDP in Lagos State. For so many reasons, he should refrain from addressing himself as chairman. We don't want him. Nobody wants him, and he will not be wanted as chairman any longer.
Honorable Moshood Salvador is no more our state chairman. The vote of no confidence has passed on him and have been ratified by all the leaders. He started to cause a lot of problems in the party. Number one, how can you inaugurate the executive without reconciliation? We have an agreement with the national that 65% for the ex-staff group, which he was part of it by then. But immediately he derailed, he went to 35%. So that is why when you are in 35, you can never be our chairman again. So the chairman of the party must come from the 65.
This group of PDP members also vowed to achieve their agenda as they speak on their next line of action.
That is, we are moving to the central senatorial district, and we will now end this race with a mega rally in the state that will showcase PDP, that will showcase the leadership of Odejod as the oracle of PDP in Lagos and the South.
You will recall that the chairman has cleared the air, saying they cannot remove him from office. It remains to be seen whether this group of PDP members will achieve their aim.
And to other news, South Zone of Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has condemned the arrest of the Edo State People's Democratic Party chairman, Dan Ober, by the state and the State Police Command for accusing the governor of diverting rice meant for the internally displaced persons, IDP. They expressed this condemnation in a 7-point communique issued at the party's secretariat in Benin City, the state capital.
Speaking at the 7th section of the People's Democratic Party PDP South Zonal Working Committee meeting held at the party secretariat in Benin, the South National Vice Chairman Emmanuel Ogidi read out a 7-point communique to condemn the arrest of the Edo State PDP Chairman Dan Obi by the State Police Command. He also noted that the party condemned the various killings of Nigerians across the country and expressed the party's heartfelt condolence to the people of Plateau and Benue states.
The PDP condemned in its entirety the unwarranted arrest and detention of PDP members across the country, especially the recent arrest of the Edo State Chairman of PDP, Chief Dan Obi, empty excuses.
However, the party state chairman, Dan Obi, said the action of the state government to stop the party from saying the truth to government will not work.
A few days ago, members of the APC were at the Samuel Okpemudia Stadium. At that event, the governor promised President Buhari that he will give him 1.2 million votes in the presidential election. The truth is that Governor Godwin Obaseki is a man with very short memory. During the last presidential election, when Oshomole was in government, after about 8 years in office, the presidential election that was held in Edo State, this party delivered 56% of the votes to PDP.
To other news, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has quizzed a former governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sharif, over the ownership of an aircraft impounded by the agency on January 16th last year. The aircraft was impounded at the Maiduguri International Airport, but the Donia aircraft 328 linked with the former governor resumed operations without EFCC's clearance. The plane marked N8005 PG and 5NBMH was allegedly linked with Skybird Air, which is being managed by one Samuel Ayodele. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has frozen 30 bank accounts linked to Ngozi Olojeme, the Deputy Chairman, Finance Committee of the Goodluck Jonathan Campaign Organization in 2015 presidential election. The development comes less than 3 months after the EFCC seized 37 houses traced to Olojeme, who served as the chairman of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund from 2009 to 2015. The seizures were part of the investigations into allegations that Olojeme and other senior officials of the NSITF diverted $48 million, approximately 68 billion naira. According to court documents made available to journalists, the 37 properties seized are located in Abuja, Bayelsa, Enugu, and Delta states. Still on the news, the mass burial of victims killed by suspected Fulani herdsmen in several communities in Basa local government of Plateau State has been disrupted by fresh attacks, which left 25 persons dead. Persons suspected to be Fulani herdsmen were said to have killed 25 persons, including 3 children and 2 women. 11 houses were also razed down in Dundu village of Kwali district in Basa local government area of Plateau State. The spokesperson of Miango Youth Development Association, Lawrence Zongo, confirmed the casualty rate. The spokesperson of Plateau State Police Command, Matat Siopov, an assistant superintendent of police, also confirmed the attack, but said information was sketchy. According to him, the Plateau State Commissioner of Police, Adie Ondea, has ordered a Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Taiwo Jebiyisu, to the scene for an on-the-spot assessment. And now, in line with the mandate of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Eta Ibas, to maintain zero tolerance for criminal activities within the Nigerian waterways, the Nigerian Navy has handed over 16 Ukrainians to the officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The Ukrainians were arrested in Borni local government area of Rivers State for their alleged involvement in illegal oil bunkering within the Nigerian territorial waterways.
Handing over the suspects to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on board the vessel named San Pandrapau, the Naval Commanding Officer, Forward Operating Base, Bonny, Navy Captain Suleiman Olorundari, explained that the Ukrainians were apprehended in January. Oludari said the Ukrainian crew and the vessel were without the cabotage clearance from the Nigerian Maritime Safety and Administration Agency while operating in the Nigeria territorial waters.
The Chief of Naval Staff has given us the mandate against all form of criminality within our maritime environment. And that mandate, we are determined to implement it to the latter. This vessel, St. Padropel, was arrested by our patrol team.
Receiving the Ukrainians for prosecution, EFCC led by Aminu Ismaila said they would write the embassy of Ukraine in Nigeria to alert it of its citizens in custody for allegedly embarking on illegal bunkering in Nigeria.
Yes, the next thing we do is we have to write to the embassy of the crew members, which is the Ukraine, to alert them we have arrested their citizen in respect of illegal oil dealing in the country, and also sound the vessel and sample it also to confirm the authenticity of the product laden in the vessel. Navy Captain Suleiman Olorundare reiterated that the Navy will not rest on its laurels in ridding Nigerian waterways of all forms of crimes.
You're watching SuperScreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, it will be time for some business stories. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now for some business stories. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, an agency tasked with the cleaning up of the country's oil industry, says even though the financial accountability has improved, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has not explained billions of dollars which has gone missing. The agency said the state oil company had not explained what it did with at least $22.7 billion earned from the state oil and the sale of oil licenses and in dividends from its stake in Nigeria LNG Limited over a 15-year period, saying the NNPC could use more transparency. The NNPC said in the past that it had for the authority of the government for all of its actions. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has commenced the safety review of the Port Harcourt International Airport. The review is being done under the Airport Excellence in Safety Program, an initiative of the Airports Council International. The Managing Director of FAN, Saleh Dunoma, who is also the President of the ACI, says it is a proactive means of mitigating risk and ensuring the overall safety of passengers aboard. Dunoma disclosed this at a meeting to announce the forthcoming 59th ACI Africa Board and Regional Committee Conference expected to hold in Lagos from April 14th to April 21. Still in the business scene, the coalition of citizens under the aegis of the EIE and the EIE project has dragged the Lagos State government to court, seeking the reversal of some portions of the state's land use charge, the law of 2018. The plaintiff is asking the Lagos State High Court in Igbo to strike down Sections 3, Section 5, and 6 of the newly passed LUC 2018 for being inconsistent with the 1999 Constitution. Counsel for the plaintiff, Olumide Babalola, is contending that Sections 3 and 5, as well as 6 of the LUC 2018 of Section 7, Subsection 5, and Item 1, Subsection J of the 4th Schedule to the 1999 Constitution. You're watching SuperScreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign stories and some sports stars. Stay with us.